meeting of the East Chicago Board of Safety. We will follow the agenda as we have in front of us. April 28th, 5 p.m. May we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance.
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. Roll call, please.
Milton Reed,
Here.
Richard Tremzinski,
Here.
Frank Smith.
Here.
All right. Is there a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes of April 14th, 2025?
I make a motion.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and properly second. Are there any questions?
I have none.
None.
Hearing no questions, we'll take a vote. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. There's no correspondence in front of us. New business. Resolution to we'll call for a motion to adopt Resolution 2025-07 3803, order and release of lien. Is there a motion?
I make a motion.
I'll second it.
Is it moved and properly second? Are there any questions?
I have none.
None.
Hearing no questions, we'll take a vote. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We'll take a motion for Resolution 2025-08 4117, carry and release of lien.
I make a motion.
I second it.
Are there any questions?
I have none.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Resolution 2025-09 4724, Ivy Street and release of lien.
I make a motion.
I'll second it.
Any questions?
None.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 4722, Ivy and release of lien.
I make a motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, any questions?
I have none.
No questions, we'll take a vote. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Now we're at 4720, Ivy and release of lien.
I make a motion.
I second it.
It's been moved and properly second. Any questions?
I have none.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Resolution 2025-12 3934, Evergreen and release of lien.
Make a motion.
I second the motion.
It's been moved and properly second. Are there any questions?
I have none.
None.
Hearing no questions, we'll take a vote. All in favor? Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, is there a report from the building department on the new demolitions or anything? Or the status updates?
Mr. President, good morning, or good evening. 403 Vernon is up this evening. This was originally up for consideration of a demolition order. Just to get the date correct, it would have been for March 24th, 2025 at 5 o'clock p.m. here. Before that meeting, just before, the bank, M&T, I believe is the name of the bank, through Lakeview Loan Servicing LLC, as well as M&T Bank. The attorney, Mr. Marcos Posada, contacted me and requested a continuance. So we went ahead and requested the continuance to the board and gave him that professional courtesy. I emailed him yesterday. I had not received a response as of this afternoon. I do want to present to the board some photos of the property, if I could do that, just because we are requesting that the board enter the order today. Can I approach with some photos?
Yes, please.
There's several pages here.
Okay. Okay.
When you can see the notice, and I guess just for the record, I should also mention that the notice to the property owner and those with a substantial interest of record were completed through both publication, posting on the property, and certified mail. Given the condition of the property, you can see it's a kind of a two-story brick / siding type property with the bricks are starting to give along the, especially along the roof line. Given the condition of the property, it's my understanding it's vacant also, James, right? It's also a vacant property. Given its condition, we believe it meets the definition of an unsafe building under the Act, and we'd request that the board affirm the order to demolish as presented. And I believe I owe that order. I think we owe you that.
Okay. Okay, so is there a motion to add this new demolition 403 Vernon and accept the recommendation of the building department?
I make a motion.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and probably second. Are there any questions?
I have none.
And my question is, it seems pretty clear that the bank has taken
They are in
ownership.
foreclosed. In fact, in talking to Mr. Posada, the loan's current. So it's a curious one. We have not heard anything from the owner. Just for the record, the owner we have is a Dion Smith,
Okay.
Dionne. Of that address is the only address we have for him.
Okay.
I show the mail coming back that was sent to him.
And the bank received notice as well. That's how
The bank
they-
did, yeah. We let them know that today was the date.
Okay.
They're aware. They also know that he did mention that he said the loan is current. He was going to see if there was any contact info that they may have for the owner, but he never got that back to me.
Interesting, that stuff. Okay. All right. Hearing no further questions, we'll take a vote. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right.
Mr. President, the next are status properties, 3938 Catalpa. This is up for status. It was originally entered a while ago. Sorry. The board entered the order March of 2024. It was before the board on February 26th of 24. The recorded order was March 6th of 24. Since that time, Mr. Portalatin has reported that everything but the garage door, I believe, has been repaired. And so we're just kind of, trudging along a little bit here. I believe Mr. Portalatin feels that it will be completed in the near future. We just, it's one of those things where they have done a substantial amount of work, still under a demo order, but outside of the garage door, we're pretty much good to go. So it's the board's pleasure on how it wants to proceed.
So what are you asking for? 30 days, 60 days, 30?
Yeah, 30.
Okay.
And if we could go to the last June meeting, or do you want to go to the first June meeting, James, or the second June meeting? First, get up to the second June meeting for a status. If we could have that date, I think should have wrote it down, sorry.
Okay.
So we'd be, because the second May, 30 day would be end of May. So June 23rd or June 30th?
Oh, the June, okay.
It's
Yeah, it'd probably be the second just because.
is that the 4th?
Time-wise?
Yeah, time-wise, yeah,
So
exactly.
that's more like 60 days.
60.
Yeah.
Well, I said, that's fine.
Okay.
He should,
Okay.
And just out of curiosity, would the meeting be the 23rd or the 30th? Because there's 5 Mondays in June.
it'll be the 23rd.
23rd, okay. So if we could have the June 23rd as a status date on this one.
Okay.
Wait, I'm sorry. Yes, June 23rd.
Yeah. Okay.
And then finally, 928 East 148th Street. This is the property that Miss Bell, Jenny Bell, the attorney, will come once in a while on status. I talked to her this afternoon. I talked to Mr. Portalatin. There's been substantial progress on the exterior. She is going to be sending an email to Mr. Portalatin regarding the interior and what the plan is going to be. So if we could have that June 23rd date for status, I think that would be appropriate as
Okay.
well. And that's all I have for the board. There's a rehab agreement in 514 Spring. We would request it to be entered as presented to the board.
Okay. Is there a motion to accept the status report from the building department?
I'll make a motion.
Second motion.
Any questions?
I have it.
When you mentioned the vacant order, should we mention that as well?
Well, we'll come up to that in 1 second. There's any questions?
No questions.
Okay. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Opposed? Motion carries. We'll entertain a motion to accept the rehab agreement for 514 Spring Street. Is there a motion?
I make a motion.
I second it.
All right. It's been moved and properly second. Are there any questions? Hearing no questions, we'll take a vote. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Would you like to speak to the emergency order to vacate?
Good evening, Commissioners. James Patalatin, Building Commissioner. Both of these are just emergency orders to vacate 5031 Magoon. It's in deteriorated condition. It's uninhabitable the way it is. Owner has been notified that they would have to enter into a rehab agreement, as well as 4226 Todd Avenue. This was a result of a fire, an electrical fire that we had there as well. We had to do a notice to vacate.
Okay, thank you. Is there a motion to accept the recommendation for the two emergency orders to vacate 5031 Magoon Avenue and 4226 Todd Avenue?
I make a motion.
I'll second it.
Moved and properly second. Any questions?
I have none.
No question. We'll take a vote. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Is there any audience participation? If anyone in the audience is here to participate or speak? All right. Are you physically able to come to the microphone? Or if you're not comfortable, we can maybe hear from there. Or can we?
That might, will it work? Yeah.
There you go. If you just state your name and we'll give you a couple minutes for comments.
Melania Sultan.
Okay. Please, what would you like to share?
For 4835 Bering Avenue, I received these different letters, from a lawyer that I obtained because Kevin was obtained. I didn't know that we were going to be getting lawyers involved, so I obtained a lawyer because Kevin was here, and I was told that for the whole amount of time since May of 27 of 22 is when my rehab agreement was signed, that there's been no substantial improvement. And I disagree on the outside. As far as the inside goes, the building material is in there, and I've been told from Mr. Kevin Smith to get it out because the order is they're gonna proceed with the demolition. I had obtained Ashley Dunlap from DNR Construction after I was told to present a $10,000 bond, which I did, as well as a $10,000 check, which was in the form of a money order that was made out to the city of East Chicago, and I was advised to change it to the contractor that was on your list, which I did. That check was cashed the next day. He did not come out right away. At the same time, I'm also going through treatments that I've been going through for the last 35 years for my MS and my lymphedema. He really wasn't trying to hear that, but I told him I needed to know what's going on because the check was cashed and who was coming out to work on it. I know my mother's number, which is my mother right here, Donna Rodriguez. My twin sons were as present as well, Armand and Emmett Sultan. Their contact information was left as well. So if there was any miscommunication, get a hold of my sons if you can't get a hold of me. He seems to have walked away once I asked him where the first $10,000 went. He told me, I don't need your money. And I was like, okay, well, you have a list of 10 properties, 4835 Bering is at the last. Are you working on all these properties at the same time? He's like, that's none of your business. I said, okay, but mine's at the last. I said, this is demolition addresses. So you took on all these properties. Can you show me where the money went? I said, because the doors, the front door, exterior screen door, complete. The back door was done. The bricks that were falling on the front were done, and that was from the biggest trees on the block from the storms that we were having was coming down. He said that he wasn't gonna address the trees. So I took that on. It wasn't until the different storms that we had came that I did it. No, I did not apply for no permit to go to Home Depot and get the chainsaws and everything that was needed to get the trees off of the property, let alone I live next door. So one of the back trees came down on my garage. So I was like, I don't need you to do that, just focus on 35. He said different contractors were gonna be coming, just look out, or I'll give them a phone number. Different contractors came at different times, so I'm questioning like, what exactly are you doing? Because like certain things that need to be done, the fascia, the roof. He was like, okay, like we're gonna do all that. I was like, can I see what you have in writing with the money that you search? What's going back and forth monetary wise? That's between him and Ashley. So that's when I asked Ashley to show me where this money went, which each individual contractor. There was a little hostility because the last time I remember seeing James, some of the inspectors, and James had asked Ashley if the people that were there were his crew. Were they his crew when you asked him? What was his response?
Excuse me, ma'am, I'm sorry, but in this section of public comment, we don't, you aren't able to ask questions and
Okay,
get
so
answers.
James
We
had
just can
asked
hear
him
from you.
if this was his crew. Mr.
Okay.
Dunlap replied yes, okay? So when he's saying nothing was being done, he talked to the people that were there. That same day is when the windows that were already in there had got put up. The boards went back up after them windows because, again, the storm we were having because of the trees. Same thing this year. Last year, this has been going on with the trees. I want to get a permit for the trees, if I have to finish getting them off the property, not just trimming them, removing them, and then proceed. I want to get this property taken care of. However, my medical conditions have slowed me down. It have to stop me. But for James to be saying, as well as the lawyer, there's no substantial improvement, that's not true. It may be slow, it's being progressed though. And I explained to him, like tomorrow I have 2 MRIs. Beautiful weather. I would love to be going to get the permits. I have the money, like I told Ashley, whatever permits, let me know the rest of it. Here's some money for the permits. But that's why I said he walked away, because he hadn't even got the permits since the last meeting that I was here and talked to him about. So I'm just like, I don't even want to deal with him no more. So I want to let you know I want to continue working on it. I don't want to remove the building materials that are in there, from the toilet bowls, the vanities, there's studs, drywall, everything's in there, but I'm being told to remove it. So I'm like, I don't want to move it and then have to move it back in.
Okay, well, appreciate your comments there, and it is an official part of the record. And like I mentioned, I'll just state again that we don't necessarily respond to any requests in public comment, period. But everything for sure is taken under advisement. And I know it might have been a little tough to get here, but we do appreciate you coming and being a part of the record. So with that being said, that's all we can do here now is listen to you. It's public space and format, and you've done that well. And again, I thank you for coming. Would you like there to be another public comment from your mom? If you could just state your name a little, and then, because it's like official part of record. Would you mind coming to the microphone, please?
It's up
front,
here, ma'am.
The podium.
Up here. All the way up front. Thank you.
All right. If you just state your name, we appreciate it.
Donna Rodriguez.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. We tried to come to the last meeting. When we got here, we didn't know that it was changed from 6 o'clock to 5 o'clock. We did come we tried to make the last one. And we got here, the security guy verified. He was like, hey, what are you doing? We're like, came for the meeting. Had no idea that it had been changed. That's all.
Okay.
So we're trying to address, and if, for the record too, they said that nothing's been done, and granted, a lot was done without permit, but if you look at the before and after, even the exterior alone, it's a big difference, and then the materials that we got to improve inside as well. But like she said with Mr. Ashley, I don't know, but we just need more time or more direction or whatever, where to go with this, because we keep, we're getting materials and making phone calls, trying to get, it was like we need another loan or whatever, trying to get credit score up to get the loan. Long story short, get a letter, up for demolition, that's just up and down, up and down, up and down. It's nerve-wracking. It was like, we gotta make these meetings and get more caught up so they know where we're at and we know where they're at, Because I know everybody's trying to do their job and the paperwork and stuff gets shuffled around, but it's like, God knows that we're not letting it go. There was a dream there and we've talked many times with James, and he knows, he's saying, and Ashley I understand that's his business, and James has worked with us, God knows, many days, many conversations, but that's what it is, and I thank you.
Okay, thank you for your comments. Okay, there is no other audience for participation. Our next meeting will be Monday, May 12th at 5 p.m. We'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to
I'll
adjourn.
second it.
Okay, it's been moved and properly second. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried, meeting is adjourned.